in the room what is something that you want, and that will give us a good head start. All right? And then we're going to get started off in about a minute. Right. Hey, Justin. So Justin is saying top ranking factor for AI SEO. What else? Let's see who else is here. All right. Okay, I'm admitting more people in. Differences in traditional SEO versus AI SEO. Okay, I'm sure Jamie can answer that. So the session will run for, how long have you prepared, Jamie? I think maybe half an hour to 45 minutes maybe, but we'll have a Q&A section, probably 5 to 10 minutes at the end to answer some of the questions that we might receive throughout the session. So yes, right? Differences in traditional SEO versus AI SEO. Okay. All right, so keep it coming. What is your number one goal from this session? What is the number one goal that you wish to get out from this session? And answering that helps us know who you are and what is your one goal, right? Okay, I am going to quickly introduce you to Jamie. So, Jamie is here again. Thank you for being here with us today. And
Still your friend?
sorry. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick introduction to Jamie. So Jamie is an SEO marketer, an affiliate SEO marketer who has made over 7 million with SEO, and that's very impressive. And he's also the founder of Answer Socrates. So Answer Socrates is a keyword research tool and basically helps you find out what your audiences are thinking and what they are searching for. And one very interesting tool called the Affiliate Finder. And Affiliate Finder is basically a tool.
Container
Let me just off. Oh my goodness. Sorry. So Affiliate Finder is an amazing tool to find affiliates, right? And that is also a great hack for SEO, which I think Jamie will also mention later on and show you how that is done. But before I pass it on to Jamie, I want to let you know that we will be using Answer Socrates today. So I'm going to pass you a link to sign up for free. The tool, you can try it out for free. And according to what I've read from Jamie's profile and also post, it's one of the most generous SEO tool out there that allows you to gives you a lot of data for free, right? So I'm going to place this inside the chat section. So this is go and sign up for Answer Socrates. Go sign up for a free account. We're going to use it. You can try it today. And without further ado, Jamie, are you ready?
I'm ready. Thank you for the introduction.
Right.
Really appreciate everyone for being here and giving me your time today to try and help you with SEO, AI, and related things around that to build a sort of multi-channel AI recommendation strategy in there. So yeah, let me just share my screen and we'll get started on some of the slides I've prepared and we'll go from there. Right, let's have a quick look at this. I think that is what I need to do. Right. Can you see the screen now, everyone?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. Right. Thank you so much, everyone. So here's my sort of theory and what I think is going to happen with AI and SEO now and in the future, and how I think that you can get ahead of most people and make sure that you and your brand ages well as things completely change over the next few years. And I don't mean to sound like hyperbolic. I just think that these next few years are going to be more change will occur than the previous 25 and maybe like more than the last 200 years of human history. And so there's a lot changing, and you can be scared or you can figure out how to try and like predict what will change and be on the right side of history. And that's what I've tried to do. And in trying to do that, I've devised my sort of 4-piece method to the main things that I think are going to like most impact winning in AI recommendations. And I don't even want to say search, because search is like just in your phone or just on a ChatGPT, and really everything is search, everything is information retrieval, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But just to sort of preface everything, so you want to get recommended by ChatGPT. About 800 now million. When I wrote this a few weeks ago, it was 700 million. Now ChatGPT have since announced that it's 800 billion people use ChatGPT every week. This is likely to hit 1 billion unique people per week by the end of 2025. And of those 700 million plus people, they're asking for health advice, product recommendations, and they trust it. ChatGPT can like traffic from what I've seen, and I've seen some access to some big businesses doing multiple 10 millions per year. And ChatGPT seems to be, and I did not predict this was going to happen. I was surprised when I saw this data, but it's almost like a mini sales consultant in your pocket. People trust it. People trust it for medical advice. And so, of course, they trust it for product recommendations as well. We've seen this ourselves. The ChatGPT leads are so valuable, and the more of those you can get, the better, because they no paid ad campaign, no organic SEO will convert as well as ChatGPT traffic does right now. And despite it being such a fast growing sort of thing, most people haven't sort of figured out how to get into the various different AI searches. So there's an AI overview, which is Google's. There's Perplexity, which is a screenshot below that we have the number 1 and 2 recommendations in. And I'll show you how you can do those in this presentation. And also things like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude to an extent that are searching the internet now. But this is what I think is going to happen. And it's not a good thing. I'd rather it didn't happen, but this is just the situation, right? So it is what it is. There's going to be a winner takes all situation in SEO. If anyone's ever watched like a travel show where people go and do like find really niche, small spots that like no one's heard of, ChatGPT is the opposite of that. They are not Anthony Bourdain going to like the least known restaurant that does the secret good food. They are reinforcers of popular brands. They do not go out on a limb for you if you don't know, if you are not like a big brand. They are not here to surface things and take risks. They're here to show popular and reinforce popular brands. There's a winner takes all situation because they are risk averse. They reinforce popular brands. And it kind of feeds this flywheel where popular brands are mentioned more by people, because like affiliates, by customers, by people online, on G2, on review services and things like that. This means that when the next LLM training data process comes through, they have more of the training data. This leads to more content created about them because they then feature even more prominently in the next GPT 6, 7, 8, which then gets more put into the next set of training data, which makes them the default recommendation forever. And so you need to be the most popular brand right now, as early as possible. And if you are not, then you're going to struggle because your competitors will keep getting recommended and take advantage of this, and it will get more and more difficult to catch up. So these are the main things that I recommend you do to win in AI search. And I will show you evidence that each of these work in these slides. Number 1, dial in your topical authority, which is what you can do on your own website. I'll explain that a secret hack was found in the ChatGPT dev console by a Turkish AI SEO called Metahan Yesoya. And what he found means basically a lot of the source code and how to rank in ChatGPT has been revealed. I'll also show you how to do parasite SEO. So once you've done your first website, you can get 3, 4 more websites ranking and take a bunch of the blue links, which are getting fed into AI. Then recruit all of the other websites as affiliates to get into the AI overviews. And then if you want to go and then take over more LLM training data, you can go recruit the YouTubers, podcasts, and things as well, so that you are the only game in town for your local business, your e-commerce brand, your SaaS, whatever type of business you run. I'll also be giving away some free stuff. If you want my 7-step AI visibility checklist to get ChatGPT to recommend you, and if you want my affiliate recruitment email templates that we've used to recruit people to promote our brand that then gets featured in AI overviews, those are all available at the end. And there's also some great discounts on our software with a promo code that I think Ruben's already put in the chat, but that I'll also show you again as well. So let's start with topical authority. If people don't know what topical authority is, like a brief definition is, it's how deep and relevant a website is on a specific topic. If you create content about red light therapy machines because you sell those machines to, healthcare clinics and things, that would be talking about how much does a red light therapy machine cost? Is it dangerous? How strong can you do it for? How much does the electricity to power them cost? And things like that. The goal of topical authority is to rank for the most relevant terms that people are searching and answer the most search intents possible, and to become a reference in like especially Google's reference list of high quality sites that it feeds from to power its knowledge graph. As well as that, you want to be the cheapest website for Google to crawl as possible. And so there's a lot of semantics in there as well, because retrieval cost is a part of rankings as well. So before I get into it, there are two types of LLM data. Number one is information retrieval. This is when someone just goes to ChatGPT and goes, what coffee machine should I buy? They search the web, the top 15 to 20 pieces of information, collate them into like a Frankenstein's monster of like the top ones that get recommended, and just stick that out. And that's your little guide, mini listicle. And then number two is their training data. This is when they scrape the entire internet, every podcast, every YouTube video transcript, lots of TikTok transcripts, all the other sources of entities and knowledge on the internet, and use that not to memorize everything. They don't memorize anything, but to train their weights so that they are the most accurate next token prediction models possible. And that's how you get your brand encoded. So I talked about this briefly, but recently there was a big discovery in ChatGPT, which confirmed that they used RRF, which is called reciprocal rank fusion. This screenshot basically shows that he found in the dev console that they were using RRF to calculate how to rank results in AI and recommend results for ChatGPT. This is really like, it's no sort of new thing. Like it's been used in information retrieval for a long time. And it's a pretty basic algorithm, like really, really basic. Like we did it when we were 10 years old in algebra level basic. And what it does is gives a rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 article, ranking top, second, third, a score. And this score, depending on how it's calculated, we don't know the exact baseline, like the denominator. In this case, we've used 60 as an example. Number rank 1 has a score of 0.0164, and rank number 10 has a score of 0.0143. Now, the difference between 1 and 10 is only about 10% in terms of the number. And so what this identified is that if ChatGPT, when you search something, is searching 10 to 15 keywords, it doesn't just search your keyword like it does on Google. It searches 10 to 15 different results that are similar to try and get the most like mature, like complete answer. And you can actually guess what it's going to search with using these types of things. If I say, what is the best coffee machine? It will start with your wording, add things like 2025, latest, best, top, reviews, and then add different features. Like if you talk about payments, it'll probably add PayPal or Stripe or something on the end. And if it's for a specific type of person, it will use different intent modifiers, like for students, for families, for shopping, for travel. And for each of those, it will scan which document is ranking in which place, rank 1, 5, 10. And your website will get a total score based on those searches that it's done across all those 15, sometimes 20 searches. And what this means is that you don't need to be number one for everything, because as long as you've got enough number 5s, number 10s, you don't need to be number one as long as you have your topical authority and you've written content on every single question that they're asking. Your total score can be a lot higher than a website that just has one rank number one ranking and nothing else. And so it really does reinforce the importance of topical authority for this sort of stuff. And one way you can find lots of other things, I'll show you a quick demo now, is using a tool called Answer Socrates. What I'll show you just really quickly in a couple minutes time, and you can use it completely for free, is you type in your seed keyword, find thousands of keywords from that. You can find, and I'll show you a secret method to find the questions real people are searching that don't come up in other keyword research tools. You can also, as of 2 days ago, we added the feature to scrape all of the people also ask questions, and then how to cluster them into a full topical map in 30 seconds so that you can gain topical authority super, super fast. So what I'll show you now is how to do that here. I think, did I say red light therapy earlier that I was going to do for an example? Let's do red light therapy in the USA, English language. Takes a couple of seconds. Okay, so now we have 1,187 questions on this topic. Basically like, are you, can I, can. And these are all just questions people have been asking, segmented for bottom of funnel, top of funnel, and different types, long tail keywords, local keywords, and things like that. But that's just your basic parts. Then what I recommend you do is you go to the recursive questions area and generate these. This is what basically what these do is it appends can, should I, how do I, after searching the initial question. Because if you do that after searching a keyword on Google, the autocomplete completely changes and shows you other related keywords that you cannot find by normal autocomplete. So this finds questions that most keyword research tools miss because they don't just say red light therapy in all cases. Like, do infrared face masks work? is related to the topic, but it doesn't have red light therapy in the name, but it knows that that is related by using these sorts of things. So this will discover hundreds more different related things that are related to your topic without you like having to find them. I also then recommend that you go to the people also asked extractor, extract all the people also asked questions in one go. This gives you all together with all of these different questions, the recursive questions and the people also asked, a full list of over 1,300 and create a topical map from there. This can take like 30 seconds though. There is a lot of scraping that needs to be done. Give me a moment. Hopefully this doesn't take too long and I don't have to make you guys wait. Okay, cool, here we go. So now you can see these are the people also ask questions for this. And then within that, you have 16 more for each subpart. And now you can export those as a CSV and you have all of those there. But I don't want to do that. I want to actually cluster every single one of these, including all these 1,300 questions in one go. And I think I actually did that earlier here, just to say, because it can take a little bit of time. Here we go. So I'm going to save you all about 90 seconds and click this now. And all you have to do is click the cluster keywords area and it will cluster them for you. And now, if I can find it, you have 1,200 keywords clustered into each area. And now you can download your completed topical map, create each part of this content. I'm just going to download this and show you now. And now you have basically an entire topical map for every single topic with 1,200 keywords neatly sorted into a range of about 100 different topics. For example, are red light therapy masks worth it? With the total volume, the average cost per click to find the value, the average competition, every single keyword within that fits into that topic. And you can base your content strategy off this. Are they legit? Are they effective? Top brands. How does it work for skin? Different country variants. And various other things in there. And so now you have a complete, basically, topical map in about 90 seconds using free tools that you can use and use for free. So that's pretty cool. So on that topic, the reason I say this is because this allows us to create all the content that ChatGPT is likely to search when you search something like, which red light therapy machine should I buy? Or which red light therapy service should I go to? When you've answered all these related questions, you are likely to have the highest total RRF score and have your website featured by the ChatGPT results. Like, to give you another example beyond red light therapy, if you ask about coffee makers, it might search things like coffee makers, best coffee machines, how to choose a coffee maker, coffee brewing devices, home coffee maker reviews. And these are topics that really, if you want to go and have deep topical authority, you should have covered and covered to a high quality to make sure that Google understands that your website is a good website anyway. But now is increasingly important in AI. Now we're seeing them use things like RRF to rank documents. And really, this does prove that topical authority is pretty crucial for AI SEO. Topical authority before AI was sort of just how highly trusted your site was in your area of expertise. And if you write consistently high quality content, then you have more and more topical authority. And basically, here's a quick sort of basic version of how this would work. Let's say one website ranks #1 for coffee makers, and it gets that maximum score based on the RRF calculation, but it hasn't written about the other things, or it just doesn't rank well for a few of them. If you've actually just built your topical authority with a topical cluster approach using, for example, that same method I showed you in Answer Socrates, where you create clusters on each major topic, and let's say you never get a rank 1, but you get a bunch of 4, 5, 6s, that total score ends up being higher than that score. This score of 0.0415, this score being 0.0767, this website will be featured more likely to be above this website that just focuses on being really good on a single focused keyword in the ChatGPT results based on the RRF score that they use. And so this really does show that, like, you don't need to put all of your effort into being #1, though for traditional SEO, this is still a very good thing to do because there is still Google traffic. It's not the end yet. There's still a couple more years of good Google traffic. But if you do want to optimize for AI, then taking a topical cluster approach and being happy or content with rank 5s across the board will mean that you will do well and more likely to be recommended by ChatGPT. So for example, I'll give you another example. We have another business to help people find influencers. And like if we were trying to create topical authority on this, we would have to create content on how to recruit affiliates on Instagram, how to recruit affiliates on Google, how to recruit affiliates on YouTube, email templates for contacting affiliates, affiliate terms and condition guides, and covering every single topic of affiliate recruitment so that we are the brand in the niche based on content. We have the topical authority in the niche, and making sure that we are the most likely to be recommended by ChatGPT when people write and ask for related questions. So too long, didn't read. AI search engines search multiple keywords for each question you ask, not just like a traditional search where you type in one keyword and you get things based on that result. They're more conversational, and there's 15 or 20 searches being done whenever you say one thing. AI search adds up the total scores from all of these websites that appear across the board and basically amalgamates them based on which website ranks where for which scores. And then the total score will be the most likely to be recommended with the content first. And if you appear in more of these searches, even if rank 1 has a slightly higher score than rank 10, more rank 5s, more rank 10s based on topical authority gets your website a higher score overall and is more likely to make you referenced. Number 2. So let's assume now you've done this perfectly. You now have your own website's topical authority and you've locked this in. The next stage is, how do you get to own 5 of the 10 blue links on the top 10 and get them all to say whatever you want them to say and own the entire keyword and get recommended in every single AI overview? You can do that with something called Parasite SEO. So let's assume you've got your own website ranking with the first page and you want to get 3 to 4 more. This is what we call Parasite SEO, which is when you use the authority of another website to post whatever you want and get that ranking as well. So you have multiple websites ranking for the same page, recommending your brand. So you can do this first thing on Reddit if you want to take Reddit stuff. Now, this is a very basic version, and I could talk about Reddit for hours. So just accept that, there's no, I'm going to have to sacrifice some context here. If anyone has any questions on this, I'll give you all the information, but just I have to get through this quickly. If you want to find good subreddits to take top comments on that are ranking for your keywords, so you have a second link that talked about you, which until about 2 weeks ago helps with AI until they were dropped, and they dropped Reddit from the AI overviews a couple of weeks ago. But they'll probably come back. But if you want to find good subreddits, I suggest finding the keywords related to your niche, or you can use a tool called Gummy Search, which finds the fastest growing subreddits. The reason you want to do that is because they usually have really good engagement because they're new, but they have fewer moderators and rules. So you're more likely to get past it with what you want to do. Once you've done that, create a Google Sheet with everything you want. For example, I've used r/blogging and r/affiliate marketing here. Put them through Ahrefs or SEMrush or whatever your favorite SEO tool is to find the top traffic ones and their top keywords, and make a list of all the threads that are ranking well that you want to target. Here's how to write a comment that actually promotes your brand, that doesn't get you banned and actually converts. So the most successful ones, they don't just go yeah, use my tool, it's the best or whatever, get banned and no sales instantly. It just sounds biased. The best ones sound like a real person, like third party, and they go, yeah, I eventually chose Answer Socrates. I didn't insert unimportant thing that doesn't impact a product decision, but sounds not like you're being biased. So yeah, I didn't like the fact that the logo didn't look nice or whatever, something that isn't going to stop them buying, but I really liked insert really, really important thing that everyone reading wants to buy. But I really like that the keyword research found every single keyword I ever wanted, or something like that. I was considering competitor number 1, but I didn't pick it because really, really important thing that would stop anyone buying that competitor. And so you sounded neutral. You said something bad about your own product, was pretending to be an unbiased person, and then said something good about you that was absolutely essential, but also spoken about your competitors, tried to sound neutral, but also just made them an absolute not option because you've highlighted the deal breaker parts of them. And so, yeah, informal, doesn't overtly dunk on competitors, but also comes across as a calm, collected expert that doesn't sound like a spammer, and also makes sure that the only option someone can take from reading your post is to buy your product. You can also get top comments, but again, this is really, really dangerous now. And don't get your accounts banned. Use this on different accounts. You used to be able to just buy 50 upvotes at a time and no one cared. Now, if you do 4, the moderator is alerted and they take a look and they have a manual inspection. So don't do this unless you can accept the consequences. And I will tell you a solution to this, but it's very difficult and it requires a lot of like infrastructure. You can buy upvotes on a website called upvote.shop. The networks are not solid like they used to be. Everyone's getting banned left, right, and center, and this is not a reliable strategy anymore. But if you do want to experiment this on an account that you can afford to lose, then this is an option. But you have to be extremely conservative. Minimum upvotes, slowest possible time, and on the most like trusted account possible. Don't put a link in. You can't do affiliate on Reddit reliably anymore. Just do it a brand mention to your own brand, except that there's no attribution, and just take the branded search. Like, don't do any links in there. If you have a top comment that's still saying your brand is the best, that's enough to get an AI overview. That's enough to get everything else. That's enough to get pulled for the next generation of LLMs to recommend your brand. Take that and don't get greedy. It's too dangerous now. And then you can also do this. And so if an archived post is ranking top on Google, and archived means that you can't post or upvote anything anymore. It's all said and done. The only option you have is to post a new post that de-ranks the current ranking one. Now, this is very difficult to do, and it costs a few $1,000s to do reliably. But if you want to do it, you need an anti-detect phone browser like Glog. You can't use an anti-detect website browser anymore because Reddit detects them and it bans accounts that use website browsers with anti-detect on. You have to use an anti-detect Android phone browser. It needs to be a real phone. Everyone running networks now just has like either an anti-detect phone Android that they can plug into to like make 50 plus like accounts in a factory somewhere, or they just have a box in their room full of like trap phones that are like £10 each that they can just use to like spam Reddit stuff. So you need about 7 accounts to do this if you want to de-rank the current Reddit thread and rank number 1. You can buy them from websites like redax.com. You need to go to their Telegram because they sell out before they actually hit the website. Buy residential proxies for each on top of the anti-detect phone that Glog offers. Warm them up using either a VA or just automations. Glog has automations now to just auto warm up and comment and create random like dog memes that get upvotes now with AI. And then what you need to do is then they jump in, do the comments, and then you go back to it. And sorry, I actually got this wrong. This is how you get top comments. The how's it outrank a currently ranking post is the other one. I got confused. So this is how you don't get caught and just leave top comments and then upvote them using upvote.shop. Residential proxies, VA to do normal warm up, and then have your team member jump in and do the money comment, like the proper copywritten one where you've done enough warming ups. I suggest about 6 or 7 comments for every like money comment, so that if someone goes to your Reddit account, looks at your like history, they don't just see you talking about yourself on every single one. And this means you can get the top comments on any ranking Reddit thread and have multiple ranking things talking about your brand. Then this is what I meant by the expensive few grand to do it properly, but very lucrative in certain cases. If a post is archived, you can create a new keyword optimized post to outrank it, but you'll need 5, 6, 7 dummy accounts and some links. So what you do is you pretend to be someone comparing you versus your competitors, and you just say, what is the best? Let's assume that we have an AI writer. Like, what is the best AI writing tool? And it would be a keyword rich question, and it has to be copywritten in the title so that it piques interest via your ICP. For example, what's the best AI writing tool? I'm a 3rd-year content marketer and I'm looking to explode my SEO traffic. Something that they can identify with and they click, because that's just the subject line. That's the click-through rate matters on there. Then sound like a third-party person that's just asking questions. Don't mention your brand at all. So I'm looking for this. These are my thoughts. And then have all the keywords and entities in there as if you are ranking a normal SEO post on your own website. Then what you need to do is have 5 or 6 more comments, 2 of which come in, get the top comment and recommend your brand. And then the other 3 or 4 write purpose. And this is so ironic that this is the strategy. They have to write purposely stupid things in there that makes other people reply angrily because they completely missed the point of the post. This gets the entire post and thread more engagement. That pushes the thread to the hot part of the actual subreddit. That leads to it staying around longer and getting more engagement. And that makes it more likely to be seen as the most interesting, important post in that subreddit, which makes it the most likely to index and take the top spot on Google for that keyword and replace an existing one. But it takes a pretty extensive account network to be able to do that. So on the other part of parasite SEO, Reddit's the easiest one and the highest rewards, but there's a lot of other stuff you can do. Like a quick TLDR is that the Google algorithm is completely dysfunctional right now. Big sites rank and small independent ones really struggle. It's absolutely ridiculous and unfair, but that is the rules. And there's also advantages. If you can post your content on a big site, you can rank better than ever. Here's an example. So we don't actually run this. We shut this community down, just didn't have time. But we used to run an SEO community called the Conversion Collective. And we wanted to rank for best SEO communities, the keyword. Pretty difficult keyword to rank. As you can see, Traffic Think Tank, Hostinger, and things are ranking for that. And then you see LinkedIn ranking, which was written by my business partner on Answer Socrates and the Conversion Collective at the time, James Oliver. This was literally an AI slop article that we did as a test, and it ranked top 5 for an incredibly competitive keyword because it used the authority of LinkedIn. For a while, LinkedIn Pulse was the best parasite in the world. It's now still good, but they've lost some traffic. But there will always be new parasites that you can write content on that will rank. The ironic thing part here is that actually we outranked Ahrefs, who are quite important and quite topically relevant to SEO. And our one-off LinkedIn post managed to outrank them, which was ironic. If you want to use this tool, it's called parasiteseo.com. What it will do is if you put your keyword in, it will find you all of the parasites that you can buy, posts, and publish whatever you want on that are most likely to rank for that particular keyword based on the success they already have in that niche. I've used it in the past. It's an interesting tool and it's the only tool on Parasite SEO. And so if you are looking to do more posts on other websites and you've got the budgets to do that on major publications or niche specific publications, then you can use this site to save you time finding the right ones and get the prices as well. So that covers how to do your own website's topical authority and keyword research to create topical clusters to get all of your content created and ranking, to take advantage of reciprocal rank fusion, RRF, in ChatGPT. Number 2 was how to use other people's websites to get number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on Google. This gives you an almost certainty to get the AI overview, and the more positions you take up on Google and Bing that are being used to power ChatGPT and Gemini's indexes and Perplexities as well, the more likely you are to take every single position in there as well. But there's actually a third lever you can pull beyond that. If you want to completely dominate every single article, blog post, YouTube video across every single keyword and dominate your niche for your brand, and that is recruit the other people that are ranking and featuring on the AI overviews and ChatGPT and Perplexity as well. So let's assume that you've crushed the first 2. You've got all the topical authority, you've done your parasite SEO, and now you have a lot of LinkedIn, Medium, Notion, LinkedIn, YouTube, Reddit, Quora, and you've started really dominating the things that you control. But there are still other people's websites. Well, you can also recruit them to promote you and give them a percentage of the sale as an affiliate partnership or an influencer partnership. And in the age of AI, affiliate programs are no longer just for revenue. And honestly, this is something I'm so confident in that I changed my entire business to create an AI affiliate company because I'm so sure that this is the future of AI recommendations. And I will explain that to you over these next 10 minutes. But this is my big bet. Affiliate programs are no longer just for revenue. Content that affiliates create is used in AI to get you even more exposure. And so the value of affiliates content is beyond just sending revenue that is tracked, but also the brand building and like AI searches that lead to more organic revenue that isn't tracked. This makes it absolutely essential in the AI area. Like I say, it used to be just a revenue stream for brands. You launched a program, affiliates sent you sales, and then you paid them. But now there's an even bigger component, which is incentivizing people to talk about your brand online, and which then makes AI recommend you. So here's how you can get recommended by ChatGPT and other search engines via doing this. I will show you a lot of examples of what we've done to show that this does work. So as you know, when you ask ChatGPT something, it sometimes searches the web. You can also force it to by selecting the web search part. Perplexity does the same, but Bing uses, ChatGPT uses Bing's index and usually the top 10 results, whereas Perplexity uses Google's, and so does Gemini. And mostly it's the top 10, almost certainly the top 20 results. And here's an example of Perplexity, which recommends our brands, number 1 and 2 for this. And it's actually quite simple to reverse engineer how to do this. The more, I'll explain this, but the more top ranking sources talk about your brand, the more likely you are to feature in the AI recommendations and the higher you'll appear. This is a combination of all the previous things we've talked about, from topical authority to parasite to affiliates talking about your brand to have the most mentions in those sources. And you can actually find out if you click on the sources area of like Perplexity exactly what it's using to create that answer. And then all you have to do is get featured on those articles and then you'll get the AI overview. It's pretty basic. I wish it was more confusing so I could charge more money for like consulting, but this is really, really primitive and basic and is really, really abusable right now. This is where your affiliate program comes in because, for example, this top one is my website, irunincreasing.com. This is actually run by the owner of a competitor of ours. But this one here, I paid them a sponsorship and they'll get a kickback if anyone comes. And this one is a competitor, so I couldn't do that one. But this one was a perfect one that we were not being featured on, that we just had to pay them $125 plus the affiliate commission. And now we have a feature which makes us even more likely to continue being mentioned for this keyword, which we want to be surfaced for. This is where your affiliate program comes in, because if you can offer them a commission for every sale they bring you, you're more likely to get featured on their blog post, and those mentions also power the AI recommendations from there. So here's how you can recruit every SEO type person as an affiliate. All you have to do is go and find all the top people ranking, find the top traffic ones, highlight the ones that are being used in the AI overview, and prioritize those the most. If you want to do more general stuff, like this is like an AI overview specific campaign. But if you want to just do general stuff, you can also go to Ahrefs. And basically, all you have to do is go to your competitors, find out what affiliate software they use. For example, Surfer SEO is the example I give here. Surfer SEO use an affiliate software called First Promoter. First Promoter affiliate links all have the referral link $FPR in the affiliate link's name. So all you have to do is go to Ahrefs, go to all of your competitors' backlinks, and then filter for target URL contains the referral link that they have. This will reveal every single website promoting them currently. And then all you have to do is enrich those and outreach every single website and go, hi, whatever they're paying you, I'll pay you more. And then steal them all, get them all to talk about you. And now you have 500 plus more recommendations you didn't have before. And you're on your way to being the biggest brand in your niche. This, for example, for First Promoter, the $FPR in Surfer SEO software still returns 746 groups of links. Some of them have 13,000 traffic for one link with an affiliate link they have. There's a lot of money in reverse engineering competitors' affiliate links, and not enough people do it. You just have to find out the unique code. Sometimes they're really difficult. Like this one is easy because it's a basic software. Some of the more like difficult affiliate networks are harder to reverse engineer, but I do have a Notion sheet somewhere with every single affiliate network's referral code, which if I can find, I can send to you, Ruben, to share with everyone if they want to know that. So when you want to steal all of these people or steal all of these people to talk about you and get all of the recommendations and brand mentions, what I'll just say is don't be robotic, be chill, be a cool guy, just be chill. Like, I promise you, I've had more like shit outreach emails than most, and I've never responded to any of them. I'm sure everyone else in this chat is the same. And most cold email is so bad, the bar is literally on the floor. So if you're a normal, chill person and you just go out to build relationships, you'll do well. A big tip that we use for all of our outreach, for partner outreach, sales, backlink building, is just send a nice 90-second Loom video with your face in going, hi, you've got this piece of content. I'd love to work with you. Big fan of what you do. Let me know what I can do to make it worth your while. I know it takes you a little bit of time to edit this article to add us. I'd love to know what we can do to make it worth your time. Sometimes they'll say something absolutely ridiculous that makes you want to scream at them, but then that deal can't be done. Some people are delusional. But often just being like a real person rather than just like a person behind an email, it really does make the difference. Another way to do that is via LinkedIn. LinkedIn DMs are so much better than an email, and you should only send a cold email if you've already tried and failed to find them on LinkedIn, or if they're not active on LinkedIn. Even failing that, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter DMs before email. If you run a brand with more budgets, what you can do is run top of funnel LinkedIn ads designed to get them to recognize your name first. Try and get don't try and optimize for link clicks, because LinkedIn cost per clicks are ridiculously expensive. Try to get them to not click the link. In fact, it's anti-advertising, but you want them to learn who you are and be familiar with you and see you as some kind of social proof, so that when you do email them or you do DM them, it's more likely to impress them enough to respond when you're trying to do these sorts of things. Failing that, do email. It has a lower response rate, but it is just good to scale. Like if you've got good infrastructure, lots of warmed inboxes and domains, then you can just send so many. And honestly, like Looms don't scale. Save Looms for really important websites and brands that you really want to work with. And then for everyone else, the hundreds and thousands of others, cold email, cold email, cold email in bulk. And if you have to, you can use a scraper called GSA to scan and scrape contact forms and auto fill them out. But it is the lowest, like spammiest form of outreach. So it should look a bit like this. This is a partner of ours that we were recruiting affiliates for, one of our clients called Chameleon Mode, which is an anti-detect browser. And we actually got a 54% response rate, which is some of the highest we've ever seen. And usually it's about 27% for us. And for most other people, it's usually lower. And it's super basic, and you can all copy this today. And literally, hey, love the video you did promoting competitor. Would you be up for reviewing us as well? Winky face to show character. I personally hate winky faces, but they work. We tested it. It is what it is. We are Chameleon Mode. What you do, who your ICP is, and who you're like. If you've got multiple, add different ones so they're more likely to respond based on what they are. We help you achieve win that you want in life. Remove pain point. Typical copywriting here. Here's why you should join us. High commissions. Something interesting. And then I just need to move the Zoom bit. And then the ending has to be reply bait. Don't try and sell them there and then. Just get a yes reply and get the conversation started. Can I spin you up a free test account to see if you want to promote us? Yes, low lift, easy to just say yes, done. Now we're in a conversation, and an open conversation is 100 times easier to close than nothing, right? Like you need an open. A good salesperson will just be able to close most opens, because any emotion can be redirected, like the Expelliarmus spell in Harry Potter. Any energy can be redirected. Apathy can't be worked with. Hatred is more useful than apathy, even if this annoys them, which it won't. But like you just need to get some level of commitment that you can then turn into a sale. And so you need a reply bait CTA. In my email templates, I actually have my framework for this, which shows you how to write any cold email with this stuff that you can use for recruiting affiliates, building links, doing cold outreach for sales and booking meetings. It works in exactly the same way. So I have those templates at the end of here. AI overviews work in exactly the same way as Perplexity. They just pull from other sources, and you can see them here. And all you have to do is make sure you're featured in as many of these as possible, which again, you use with this same infrastructure for outreaching and building those relationships. And here's some examples, just so everyone knows that like, I'm not trying to say that I'm right, but we do get results on this. Here's an example on Perplexity. We have 1 and 2. Here's an AI overview where we have number 1. Here's another AI overview where we have number 1. Here's another AI overview for a different keyword where our other brand is number 1. And here's a ChatGPT where we're number 1 as well. We've done this a fair amount, and it does work, and it will work for a long time because it's very expensive for Google to do this any other way. They are not using ChatGPT to check content because it's incredibly expensive. There's still just natural language processing being done. To do anything with AI is expensive. So if you think they're reading the whole internet to check if it's a reliable source or not, then I promise you they're not. Otherwise, it would cost trillions of dollars in APIs and things to do so. And basically, you can write about yourself, say how good you are, and it will just trust you as honest right now, for better or for worse. So here's what I would recommend for a 2-step action plan. Get your brand featured on all the sources being cited by the AI overviews first. And you can do that by literally looking at what the sources are in AI overviews, and then get featured in all the sources that are being referenced by ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini. Find all the unique ones there and just go after all of them using the same outreach templates that I've shown you there. You can also use a tool that I built to do that at scale. And you can also view your AI visibility for free using Answer Socrates' LLM brand tracker that we built. I actually forgot that was in those slides. That's cool. Everyone should use it. It's free. And we're going to make it a lot better. It's pretty basic right now, but we're going to make it better. But ChatGPT and AI search don't just use Google when they search for stuff. They use a lot of other sources like YouTube, Reddit, LinkedIn, Medium, Twitter, Instagram, podcasts, and more. And so if you are feeling ambitious and you're ready to not only take over the AI overviews from websites, but also reinforce everything else. And remember, there are 2 types of LLM training data. We've only covered information retrieval from an actual search. There's also the 99% is their training data. When they're trained on billions and billions of terabytes of data of every single word ever written on the internet from the common crawl, every transcript of a YouTube video that could talk about your brand, every TikTok transcript, podcast transcript, email newsletter that's publicly available, all of those mentioning your brand is going to make it more likely that the next version of ChatGPT or Gemini is most trained to recommend your brand as the #1 in your niche. So how do you do that? Here's how you can also use your affiliate program to recruit the other types of affiliates that create content that gets views, but also gets pulled into future AI training data to make you the biggest brand in your category. Why? Because it's scraped by LLMs to train future AIs to make sure they recommend you more. And so winning the future really just becomes requiring so much domination that you become the default answer baked into the future AI's brain, is how I try and describe it. You can train an AI to say what you want it to say. With enough data supporting your decision, you can make that the new truth. So here's how it works. LLMs are trained on snapshots of the internet. Like I said, they scrape data from blogs, YouTube transcripts, Reddit threads, podcasts, news articles, and more. They then compress this into their neural weights by learning which tokens, which are things like brands, words, descriptions, towns, cities, appear most often, and in which context. For example, when you say Jordan, do you mean the country or do you mean the basketball player? The more information you can tell, the more likely you are to be able to tell the difference based on the semantic connections between the similar things to be able to know which one they're talking about. This allows them to be very accurate in what they're projecting and predicting will actually be the answer to your question. Here's just sort of a visual version of that for training sources. And the important thing to remember is that they're not like memory things. They haven't learned everything. They've just trained their average to be accurate for that based on training weights on that. And so frequency is power. The more time your brand shows up in training, even if it's not a link, an unlinked mention is absolutely fine. The more confident the AI feels about embedding a token, which is your brand name, for example, like any brand in the world, like I'm looking at my phone, so Apple right now, the more likely they are to remember that brand and output it as a result. That is just based on confidence intervals that AIs have, based on seeing the same thing enough times to learn what it is and feel confident recommending it. The semantics are also very important. If your brand often appears near phrases like best CRM, best CNC machining service, or top affiliate program software, because it is one of those things, the more likely your brand is to be like outputted as the best CRM or CNC service or top affiliate program software or red light therapy service as the AI learns to connect you with those topics. And this is why your affiliate and influencer program is essential. Because if you recruit these YouTubers, podcasters, bloggers, Reddit people, and everything else, it's not just about driving sales. It's about infecting the future memory of the AI itself, because every video transcript, every Reddit comment, every brand versus competitor that you write today is fuel for future AIs that will lead to them recommending.
Yeah.
And so you can also use this in the same way. And this is like, I already showed you how to recruit like websites to promote you and talk about your brand. You can do the exact same thing on YouTube. Now with Cursor and AI, you can vibe code a quick little thing like this in about half an hour that I did. But all you do is use the YouTube data API, a Python script and a table for code. And now you can export all the ones you want to quickly get all the YouTubers you want. This took about half an hour. You can also use a software called Favicon, which lets you surface influencers across TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, and things like that. This is a search for SEO influencers with more than 5,000 Twitter followers and 5,000 LinkedIn followers. And it returns people like Kyle Roof and Lily Ray that are influential in SEO. And so you can find people who are influential in your niche using a tool like this. If you're doing TikTok and Instagram reels and stuff that don't really have many link clicks, consider changing how you reward affiliates to be more like CPM, which means like the price you pay per 1,000 views rather than an affiliate commission, because they're not really clicking links anymore. It's a lot easier to just use sponsorships for affiliate influencer stuff rather than like affiliate commissions. It still means that people are talking about you, and it still means you're getting views and sales. It's just not attributable because there's not really any links on TikTok. And so the new way to sponsor is just CPM deals, not CPA. And here's sort of something that I've bet my sort of career on here. And so if this is interesting to you, then feel free to test it. It's free to test. I think that everyone is so obsessed with traditional SEO for AI search that they're completely missing the big thing, which is the wider brand thing and how to actually get AIs to talk about you, which is why I've bet my career now and completely pivoted what I do and spent all my time and money building a software called affiliatefinder.ai based on my future prediction that the future of AI will be heavily powered by training data that is from incentivized mentions, which means some sort of sponsorship or affiliate link or payment has been done for that, and that AIs cannot tell the difference. And if you want to try it, you can. Affiliatefinder.ai basically finds all the websites ranking for your top keywords, all the affiliates promoting your competitors, so you don't have to do the Ahrefs thing I showed you where you have to work out the code and all that complicated stuff. And it finds all the YouTubers and Instagram influencers creating topic content on your niche, as well as who has tagged your competitors in an Instagram reel and everything like that. So I'll quickly show you how that works. Share my screen now. So this is how it looks. This is my example brand for Answer Socrates, the exact same keyword tool you just saw me use here. We do have an affiliate program as well. If anyone wants to join it, then feel free. But if I was recruiting affiliates from here, this is what I'd do. So as you can see, you've loaded up. And what it does is it uses AI to find what the AI thinks are all of your competitors based on learning about your brand. So our AI thinks that our main competitors are Answer the Public, Uber Suggest, SEMrush, Ahrefs. And it's pretty good. I would say those are all my competitors. Though if I disagree, I can remove and add any other ones in there as well. It also finds the top keywords and topics in your niche based on like discovering those, and then searches those across Google, YouTube, and Instagram to find those. You can then sort them, for example, highest rank. And this is basically a who's who for who's ranking for all of your competitors' content and industry content. So now you can approach these brands instantly and get those mentions to get into the AI overview. You can also filter by YouTube and things like that if you want to do that. And the most useful thing for me is that we can find any YouTuber or Instagrammers in email in seconds, as well as websites. Because if you've ever tried to do email outreach to YouTubers, it takes 2 minutes because you have to do a captcha every single time to do that. And it's really boring and long. And so you can use something like this to find thousands of potential affiliates that are actively promoting your competitors, recruit all of these very quickly because it filters out all of the people that aren't good fits for your specific brand, and scale your affiliate program, get the maximum mentions on Google, YouTube, and everywhere else, feed LLMs to recommend you, and become the #1 brand in your niche. That's everything I have. I really hope that was useful for everyone. And I'm here for any questions that you have from there. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Jamie. That itself is a masterclass itself. We do have some questions and we will answer more. So if you have questions right now, just put them down in. Jamie will stay here for another 5 to 10 minutes, I hope. And maybe you can answer one right now first, right? So let's quickly look through what we have here. So I'm going to answer this one from Kevin here. For industries like sport betting, casinos, can Parasite still work? Like posting on LinkedIn, Reddit, for those industries, there are special platforms.
the gambling niche, like so I don't really do much in this, but I have a lot of friends that do. It gets crazier every story I hear. Like nowadays, it's like hacked university websites and like government websites and stuff that are being used for this stuff. Like whatever you think the next worst thing you could ever imagine is, the next worst thing will then go and happen to rank for like gambling stuff. It can work, but you're competing with people with like $5 million a month budgets, and it is just the most crazy competitive thing ever. Um, but I'm not ruling it out, especially in like, yeah, the USA and like Europe is really, really crazy, but there are some smaller like industries in different countries that are like easier as well.
All right, all right. All right, so if you have more questions, let's put them down. We'll get them answered all before we end today. I'm just going to take 5 minutes to go through a few things here before we return to some Q&A. And I do believe we have some coupon codes that we're going to share with everyone at the end of today. So I will do that in a bit. Let me just share my
Oh,
screen
on
here
that
and
note,
go through.
can I just
All
share my
right,
screen for one more second? I realized that I've
sure, sure.
forgotten to give everyone the freebie for this as well. Sorry, one moment. Right, so if everyone enjoyed this one, you can
There you go.
get so firstly you can scan this QR code and you'll get all of my my 7-step AI visibility guide for free. And you'll also get all of my email templates that we've used and tested over sending millions of emails over the last 7 years. As well as that, if you'd like to get 10% off any of the paid plans on Answer Socrates, you can do so with the code DCMO10. And if you want to get 60% off Affiliate Finder for your first month, we usually have a base plan of $99 a month. Sorry, I wish it would be cheaper, but it's just very expensive to run. Like the filtering and scraping is just really, really expensive. But you can get 60% off of your first month at $39 a month instead if you use code DCMO60 as well. And if you want any help getting set up on all of those, if you're confused about anything, just message support and either me, one of the devs, or our customer support will get right back to you. We want to make sure you have the best possible experience there. And yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Jamie, for sharing that. So I think everyone got that. I would send a recap to everyone so that everyone has the same information. So I just want to quickly go through something that I'd like to share, introduce. We do have a sprint coming up for let me just share my screen, right? For this exact thing. And what Jamie shared today was very tactical, right? It's very tactical, very strategic, and something that we Malaysians don't do enough of, I believe. Okay, so we all know that AI has changed how Google search works, right? And if you look at some of the recent, how some people have changed their search behaviors, is that we have now shifted to, well, we all know this, we have now shifted to large language models like ChatGPT to search for answers. Like, for example, right, just a few days ago, I even used something like ChatGPT to search for, hey, can I cook tomatoes and sour cream to make pasta-based sauce? And it started wrongly, right? But this is the habit change that we have seen in the market. Instead of using Google to search, and what I've done in the past is go through a long list of content with some sort of story in the beginning, and then it goes straight into, then only then after like 1,000 words, it goes into the recipe, right? Which is something that we don't do anymore, right? In fact, I posted this on Instagram asking people, hey, is there a way to cook 1 kg worth of open sour cream, right? And I actually made a dish out of ChatGPT. So what I'm trying to portray here is that things have changed in the world of search, right? And people are using more and more ChatGPT, right? And we do have clients as well. So like this is a particular client in Malaysia. So Homa to you, they rank they rank for they get mentioned in answers in ChatGPT and also AI overviews. And basically, that's the goal that you want your business to be in, your brands to be in, right? But the thing is, most brands today, there are three problems that they face right now. One is they're unsure what keywords to optimize for, and I think Answers Socrates answers that really well because we get to see what sort of like keywords people search for and what are some questions they're asking. And basically, you just create content to answer those questions, right? Number two is that they don't know how to structure pages for AI. So I think there was a question earlier asking about how long should my content be, right? I think Jamie, I will allow Jamie to answer that question later on. But how long should my content be? So many businesses and brands are still unsure how to structure pages for AI. And number three is that they don't implement consistently. For example, if I show you the earlier results, just a few days back, I think about a week ago, OpenAI launched a new thing, right? And now they also show e-commerce listings within Answers itself. So the very same business that I was mentioned earlier, they're not actually ranking with their items on ChatGPT. So in fact, I just asked, why are you not showing me listings from Homa to You, right? And it answered, hey, good question. The reason I didn't show is because number one, product search constraint, which is something that Jamie has mentioned earlier, inventory listing format issues. Maybe their site probably has some technical challenges where it shows dynamic pages, dynamic URLs that don't expose individual SKUs or its policy. Maybe they're blocking, right? Right. So what we found out later on was, the way their site was built was that it created dynamic URLs so that it didn't show up in the answers here. So these are all technical SEO. But one thing that I would really believe on is a lot of brands today, right? I believe they can do all these things, but the biggest problem that they have would be number three, to implement consistently, right? At least for Malaysian brands. We do something, we do some sort of like work on SEO for a week or two, we get bored out of it, and then we stop. Right? So as you have heard from Jamie, basically one of the most important things to do in SEO right now is to go out big, right? You have to put your brand out there. It's an all or nothing approach. And that's so we are launching a sprint called Searchable, right? So Searchable is a 14-day sprint. It's not a workshop, it's not a course. It's basically something that you go on and to do together with us, right? And basically what we're doing here is we are going to build an AI search optimization content systems to get you on the track to be creating content and to be building up for your page, right? So, my video just went off. I'm going to switch my video here. All right. So basically what's inside here is that we're going to be building content, a system building content, and also the content itself together with myself and the daily CMO team. And there will be a content system for you to go through the lessons and also the materials that we have included in this sprint, right? So all to all, there will be 5 live sessions, just like this, right? Where this will be step by step, and we're going to go through from research up to implementation. So how do you research for keywords, and then how do you actually implement it into content on your brand itself? Now that was also going to be done for your templates, and this would be briefs. So when you're creating a content brief, how do you create an outline that actually caters to the AI overviews that we know these days, right? So you don't want to create long form content. And long form content is not the only way to rank anymore. You want to go direct to answering your customers right now. And I think Jamie can tell us if that is true or not. We're going to go through an implementation plan. So this is the most important part of a sprint, right? So instead of like just consuming content like this today, there's a lot of information that Jamie has shared today, but the next big thing is, are you going to take action or not, right? So this is something that I figure out that it's important to take action and something that we do together, right? Number 4, we're going through support, right? There's going to be support offered in this sprint, whereby we're going to go into discussions, and if you need help or if you need any updates, that's going to be inside our community group itself. And number 5, we're going to be using tools from Jamie Answers Socrates, Affiliate Finder to do all of these activities. And basically the goal at the end of this day is to build a system to get your brand ranked on Google plus AI overviews, right? So this one, we go through what's going to be included in this sprint. So you're going to have the authority map and also SEO plan laid out. So for a brand, this is important because without a plan, you're just doing random things, right? So you need a plan, you need to put down what are you known for, what are your keywords, and all these things. We have created templates for this, right? Done for you content briefs and to publish an AEO optimized page. And the reason we do this in the 14-day sprint is that when you publish something, then you learn the process of doing it, right? There's going to be support and office hours in our community. And honestly, basically, what I'm trying to do here is to launch a community. I know, Jamie, you took down a community platform, but here we are trying to launch a new community here. And my real goal is to actually launch a community and get people into here so we can help each other and to scale with our marketing efforts, right? Not just with SEO, but also with other subjects as well. So basically, in a nutshell, you walk away with a system, 3 publish-ready content briefs, an AEO optimized page live on your site, and our in-house custom GPTs as well. So custom GPTs, if just to give you a quick overview, they're basically just instructions that you give to something like ChatGPT, right? So we have trained some of these made up some custom GPTs that we use ourselves for our clients, and we're going to share that with you so that your content briefs, your research, and to creating them will be much, much, much faster, at least 50% faster, right? And at the end of the day, you have a scalable AI SEO system that you can scale with. And of course, I think one of the most exciting things for me here is access to the daily CMO community, because as you start implementing this thing in your brand, you're probably going to have questions, you're probably going to have help that you need. All right. So at the end of the day, your goal is to show up for things like this. You want to be shown in things like AI overview. So like that's the case of Helmut to you there. And then of course, with things like ChatGPT showing up in the answers there and using all the techniques that Jamie has mentioned earlier to make this happen, right? So the sprint for the first 10 signups would be 749, right? And after the 10 signups are closed, we're going to increase the price to 1499 to enter this sprint here. Now the sprint starts on the 29th of October. This is fully online and it'll go for 14 days. Again, there will be 5 live calls, including content inside the community section. And the bonus here will be the Founders Pass. So Founders Pass is basically a lifetime access to the Daily CMO community. And the reason I'm doing this is just because I want to launch this community and build this from scratch. All right. So you can scan that QR code and bring it to a link to the page, or I will also share the link to that page in just a moment. So let's go back to Q&A right now. And I believe all of you already have the coupon codes as well to answer to credits and also Affiliate Finder. All right, so I'm gonna go and look at the Q&A and see what we have missed earlier. Just stop this share. Okay. All right, so let's see. Is this suitable for newly formed brands? Yes, this is exactly what newly formed brands should do if you want to get ahead in the industry, right? And be ahead of the competitors. Okay, so let's go to some earlier questions that I've seen earlier. So question from John here. I'm going to copy paste it again. Is content length still vital? Or should I just focus on being direct on my content to my reader? Jamie, this one's for you.
So generally, when AI SEO didn't exist, we were just doing Google optimizations for like an informational piece of content or an e-commerce landing page. The philosophy is always
Okay, I think Jamie has froze there for a bit. All right, so while we wait for Jamie to come back on, let me just see if we can get him back here. I've just pasted the link to join the sprint. Again, it's a sprint where you'll be doing it with me. And one of the reasons I'm putting this out is because, admittedly, honestly, I've done SEO back then, affiliate sites, my own music school and more. And then we kind of slept on it, right? So honestly, it's an opportunity for me to also implement together with all of you, right? So that's
sorry
the
about
reason
that.
for
I
this.
got kicked out of the call.
All right,
Sorry.
Jamie, back to you
Sorry,
again.
I was just talking about content length and then it shut down. Sorry, I think my internet is going weird. On that, so basically, I always say it should be as long as it needs to be, but as short as possible. In that you want to be deep, cover the entire topic well, but do so in a way that is extremely easy to read. And if you haven't already like read up on semantics and something especially called dependency hops, this is a part of natural language processing that like AIs and machine learning uses to try and understand what you're saying and understand with the clearest confidence that that answer is the answer to that question. And so writing daily CMO is the best SEO community or anything like that is the clearest way you can write it. But if you wrote it in a way that's like, and daily CMO is known in several different areas for being one of the top areas in digital marketing, also known as a subsection of SEO, that is very expensive for a machine to understand what that means because it requires like 100,000 times more processing power to understand the meaning of that question. And so in content length, you need to make it clear, but also long enough to cover the topic properly. There's no right length. An e-commerce landing page shouldn't have as much text as an informational how-to page. And so I don't want to give a number because a number is a bad example, but it needs to be very clear, easy to be pulled by an AI and understand that that is the answer. So you have the highest chance of being recommended.
Right. So I just want to add on to that question, right? So I think what he really meant was, what about fluff? Like back then with traditional SEO, we SEOs used to put in a lot of fluff into our content, right? So there's a whole long story out there. So do you go like straight to the point, or
Yeah.
you
Yeah, that's what
leave
I
out?
mean by
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean. Just like as short as possible, but as long as it needs to be. Cover every question they might have on that topic, but do so in a way that's incredibly direct and incredibly like to the point for it. So yeah, no fluff.
All right, got it, got it. For those of you who are asking who like if you miss a live session in the sprint, would you be able to catch up? Yes, that you'll be able to catch up because this all be recorded and will be placed inside the community section for you to refer again, and you're always going to have access to it. All right. Brian, what are your thoughts on using prompt injections, hidden prompts in content, and in your experience, has it worked to get featured on AI overview? I think you're a perfect person to ask this, Jamie.
I have no idea, and I haven't tested it. Sorry, I can't be helpful. If I'd said anything, it would be based on what other people have said, and I only want to recommend what I've done personally, and I haven't experimented enough. Sorry, I can't be helpful there.
Got it, got it, got it. So, if there's any other questions, just put them down. We get them answered, right? Mm, I think there's one for Karen from Karen here. Will this work for website development platforms, basically web platforms like Wix or Shopify? Simple question here.
Yeah. Shopify is great for like, I mean, Shopify hate SEO, but they're actually pretty good for out of the box SEO if you know how to use liquid like files in the right way and can put the right like areas on your, collection pages to have the FAQs at the bottom, introduction and semantic rich paragraphs at the top, and then the right pagination for your actual e-commerce products for each collection and things. It's slightly different in that a lot of the examples I gave were like how like is a red light therapy machine expensive, which is like a 2,000 word informational thing, whereas a Shopify e-commerce page would be a different style. But it's just cracking each thing. Like in that case, it would be 150 word e-commerce intro, FAQs, and supporting info with H3s underneath the products and things. But for the actual platforms themselves, Wix will work for your own personal brand site or an agency site, and Shopify will work for an e-commerce site. You just have to use what they have as out of the box SEO tools with the right way of setting out that specific piece of content, and it can absolutely work. Yeah.
All right. And I have one question that I've written down here earlier, right? So for brands who, I mean, after going through all the session today, for brands who wants to start off with content, how would you recommend them to start off with? What's the cadence like? Would you recommend them to start off with like 10 pieces of content in a month? Or what would be the natural pathway to getting there?
So what you can do, because if you start a brand new website with no trust, you can be hit if the first pieces of content are thin and kind of get a bad quality score that affects your indexing for a long time after that. And so what I like to do is no index like the first 30 posts until I have 30, index them all at the same time, make sure they're excellent. So like you have your highest quality stuff going first, get yourself the highest possible quality score, and that makes the rest of your publishing so much easier. Same thing if you're doing a programmatic SEO play and you're trying to index 20,000 pages or something, index the first 200 best ones like first with the right data in the right places, get those in there, wait until they're all indexed and page position 20, 30 and they're on the way up, then get the next batch indexed. Don't go too fast too quickly. Don't do thin content that can affect the rest of your content because it will bring the rest of it down with it. And I personally just like to start at around like 30 high quality pages for a build and then index them all at the same time.
All right, all right. So last question for me, right? So you mentioned your belief in affiliate marketing and in affiliates being the voice of AI answers and more, right? What if a brand would to publish their own content itself? Would that work the same way? Or would you need to have like signals across different sort of like accounts and platforms?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of brands like writing listicles for like their
Yeah.
own niche, saying the top 10 SEO tools, and it's like we've done it on Answer Socrates. If you type in answer the public alternatives, the number one ranking thing is our website saying we are the number one. And so you can do it. There is a filter for in the algorithm that Google has, where if you talk about yourself too positively, there's a downwards like effect on rankings. But if you can try and talk about yourself like neutrally, you can still rank your own posts. And what brands like SEMrush do is buy other big brands like Backlinko, Exploding Topics, and like other related like brands, and then write the same article on all of those. So they have 3-4 posts of the top 10, all saying that SEMrush is number one, and then do it via that. So they do acquisitions of big like other news brands and publishers as well to reinforce and say SEMrush is the number one enough times that the AI says that SEMrush is the number one.
So you're saying that if I'm a brunch, a cafe in KL, it's not weird to write top 10 branches in KL on my own site.
It happens all the time and it works. It might not convert as well because people might go, they're talking about themselves, but it will rank.
All right. So when the tide lifts, all boats gets lifted, right? So I think that's one of the way to see it that way. So again, thank you so much, Jamie. I know we have taken so much time from you. It's 10:15 p.m. right now, so I appreciate your time. If there's one thing, or if there's a way that everyone can reach out to you, where would it be?
I'm on LinkedIn if anyone wants to connect with me, Jamie IF. I'm also on Twitter, Jamie_IF. You can use my software for free if you'd like to try those out, Answer Socrates or affiliatefinder.ai. I blog infrequently, not very often, on increasing.com in case you want to read anything I've written. And yeah, I'm most active on LinkedIn at the moment. I'm trying to go corporate and do my corporate thing now. I'm getting older and I need to be more professional. So I'm mostly on LinkedIn now.
But LinkedIn is no longer professional now, isn't it? Anyway,
It's more
thank you so
professional
much,
than I
Jamie.
used to be on Twitter.
Used to be, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so
All
much,
right.
Jamie. I appreciate your time here. And I think we've learned a lot. This whole session has been a masterclass itself. And I'll be sending a recap to all. Everyone who attended here. So thank you again. And till next time. Jamie, have a safe trip
Thank
back
you,
to
everyone.
UK.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.